I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
According to my intel, there's still one super villain who is running amok. Harley Quinn. She's nothing but a polyp on my bunghole. Irritating, sure. Uncomfortable, absolutely. Horrifying to sexual partners and oftentimes a deal breaker, definitely. But nothing that a doctor-prescribed cream can't take care of. We are talking DC's Harley Quinn Season 2, Episode 8, Inner Parademons. What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
How's it going? How's it going?
I didn't feel, listen, the lack of enthusiasm actually hurt my soul. I was about to mention how great it is to have Chauncey back in the building.
Yay!
Hey, Robinson. And yet the lack of enthusiasm. And of course, Tatiana Marisa, who makes her way here each and every week. Hello, Tatiana Marisa.
Hi, how's it going?
You know, I don't even want to be on this panel either. You guys are going to act like this. Ryan, at least, is Ryan excited? At least Ryan is always excited. Ryan, are you excited?
Oh my God, they might release the Snyder Cut this week.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
What? Snyder Cut?
That's
Snyder
what,
Cut.
yeah.
It's always the Snyder Cut. Okay, that was too excited. My name's Tehran. Of course, we are the panel that is Harley Quinn. Each and every week, we are talking Season 2, Episode 8, Inner Parademons. We're going to be breaking down the episode as thus. First, Harley and Ivy on the same page. That awkward conversation between those two at the beginning. Tell Kite Man. Should we tell Kite Man? That's a debate we need to have, and that means all of you at home. Harley Quinn is the baddest bitch, and I said it, she said it, we meant it. Gordo's mission, Batgirl misunderstood. Apocalypse, that was a wild ride. Granny Goodness, we get a Granny Goodness sighting. Parademons, Harley's deflection. She's still not able to tell Ivy at the end. Special segment. Of course, we're going to talk. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're definitely going to be talking about that dinner with Kite Man's parents. Our special segment, How Harley Quinn Are You? Our news and gossip and so much more. Everyone, I'm going to start with which one was the most excited? Neither. Chauncey, what were your overall thoughts on this week's episode?
I actually really enjoyed certain parts, like Kite Man's parents, Jessica Walter being on this show. She is like the quintessential judgy mother. So it was great hearing her voice playing because she just fits that to a T. So that's probably like the highlight for me. And overall, I'm still rooting for Kite Man. So for Ivy, I don't see it happening, but I like the way this episode went.
Tatiana Marisa.
Totally piggybacking. Love that she showed up as his mom in here because I love her voice and huge fan of hers. But I don't think Ivy really is into Harley as much as Harley is into Ivy. I think she's still into Kite Man. Yes, there is hope for Kite Man, and we're all rooting for him. But I liked this episode. It was topsy-turvy and held my attention.
Well, I felt like a lot of people actually liked last week's episode. Tatiana and I were on the same opinion with many people that it was a bit of a filler. There were a lot of things that kind of got stretched out. This episode, on the flip side, seemed like it was back into the swing of Harley Quinn. We got a lot of different tidbits. Every single line kind of packed a punch. We understand the turmoil and the awkwardness between Ivy and Harley. I like this episode. I love Granny Goodness. Of course, I love me some Dark Side. Let's not act like we don't know who I am. So I liked all of that. And most importantly, the fact that Kite Man's parents have powers and they're very good. And Kite Man. And they even said, oh, you know, you have real powers. He pretends.
I like his
poor Kite Man.
He's such a sweetheart. And then most importantly, the way Ivy stepped up for him at the end was very, very heartfelt and fun. Let's talk some Harley Quinn. Harley and Ivy on the same page. That awkward conversation at the beginning.
Not at all on the same page. Not at all.
I feel like it reminds me of the time Ryan and I had a very similar experience.
You and Ryan kissed?
And, whoa. I never said that, Chauncey. I never said that, except all I'm saying is Ryan and I had a similar experience, and he was very much...
summer experience.
It's just very much just just enthusiastic about me. And I was just like, oh, Ryan, it's not a big deal, So I felt, I empathetically felt for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like with that particular thing, I feel like Ivy might have a sense of what it is, but I also think she's very much focused on Kite Man. So but Harley being Harley, she overcompensates. She starts, kissing everybody, which was a funny bit throughout the episode, but it was just like she just couldn't come out. But at the same time, I'm kind of wondering, like, what are you trying to say? I mean, I guess towards the end, she realized maybe she fell in love with Ivy, but I still feel like this is kind of not out of nowhere exactly, but there's such a strong feeling of I need to profess my feelings after like I just got over this other deranged man. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Ivy being the logical one, it's like there's no way this could be super deep. So yeah, we had a moment, and unless it happens again, we're good.
I think it was very characteristic of Harley to kind of jump from one to the other, because she's not the type of person that can be alone. So for her to get over Joker, the person that helped her get over Joker was Ivy. So even though it's like, I know, I feel like it came kind of quick, it makes sense to me for Harley's character that she would want to profess her love, because she does. She just jumps from one thing to the next, and she's rash and doesn't think 4 steps ahead, or even 2 steps ahead. So it was characteristic of her.
Yeah, and for me, that's just not something to root for. Like, I guess that's why I still like Kite Man and Ivy, because I just can't root for this. I still feel like there's a little bit of codependency there. She hasn't been, single for all of like what, a year and some change yet. I mean, it's like, and all of a sudden you're deep in love with your friend. Like, give it a space,
But look what happened when she was like, "Oh, I love Ivy. No, I don't," and then ran from it. Look what happened. I mean, she summoned an army from another world. Like, it was just mayhem, crazy.
Yeah, she's an imperfect protagonist overall.
No, it's interesting listening to both of you. It's almost as who hurt you, Chauncey?
What?
You always
no one hurt me. I'm just logical.
She's a cartoon. She's a cartoon, Chauncey.
This is storytelling.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing about the concept of Harley Quinn, and something that we need to be careful about and writers need to be aware of also is, let's not utilize gender fluidity or sexuality for a plot twist. Meaning that if Harley is truly gender fluid or bisexual, then let's not say that she just jumped into it impetuously because of a momentary feeling that she happened to have. Also, especially because we tend to do that in society, especially when it comes to 2 women, right? So there's a difference. It's a connotation difference. A lot of people use it on the reverse when we use the term guys. Guys is gender neutral. Really? Ask a guy how many guys they've had sex with, and they'll all freak out. It's no longer gender neutral. So we need to be careful whenever we use these connotations, simply because of the implication. Harley, let's go on to, if we're going to examine this psychologically, Harley's coming off a breakup. She might not understand how love feels. We don't know much about Harley's sexual past, meaning that maybe she feels intimate association with the first person who's actually cared about her and doesn't understand her true biological feelings or her sexual attraction feelings.
I think it's canon that she's bi, though. Like, that's even in Birds of Prey, and it's been shown. It's been very like snippet, but it's been shown that she has actually dated women in the past, also in the cartoon. So I don't think this is her discovering that, oh, I like women. I'm specifically speaking to the fact of her suddenly being in love with Ivy, because I would
my
actually
problem
want her
is
with someone
in
else.
This cartoon.
Yeah.
That's why they've established this, and we've broken from Harley Quinn lore from the past. Yeah. I would like a line that explains that Harley has been in a relationship with a woman before. But we saw that. That's what I'm just saying right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like more.
Yeah, it wasn't dived into, but I feel like it's canon. But I get you. And I guess my thing would be more so, let her be, if they're going to show it, maybe not with Ivy as the first one that they explore. Maybe, I think what's going to, it's probably going to be Ivy and Harley because they are canon in the comic books, perhaps. But I do think there needs to be some moment where, Harley just gets to casually date around or something. Like, everything doesn't have to be 0 to 60 with her, with the next big so-called epic slightly toxic love story.
But I mean, who would she in the world that she's in right now? Who is she gonna date? Like, necessarily like a dating realm, you know, like
one of the incantations of Clayface. Let's be very real. Let's get into the debate. Should we tell Kite Man, yes or no?
Yes. Yes, you need to
Tatiana obviously wants to break up. Chauncey, what do you think?
I feel like if it wasn't anything, if it wasn't on Ivy,
Chauncey is a cheater. Ryan, can you please?
Chauncey, last week I debated on whether or not it was actually cheating that she kissed Harley. So it was, you know.
Yeah, well.
Tatiana did not think it was cheating until I convinced her. Ryan, do you have a tiebreaker? Let us know when you do. I want to know. Yes, Ryan.
I think it's playful cheating.
What is that?
Just because you put an adjective in front of it.
I want to make sure. It does lessen the. It did lessen the blow. It did lessen the blow.
Playful cheating.
I'll be very honest.
Sorry, husband. I was playfully cheating. Nothing else.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, say that in divorce court.
It just depends. It depends on the emotional assessment. Who knows? I want to know what everyone in the chat thinks, and everybody at home in the comments below. Let us know. Should Harley tell Kite Man? This is up to you. Give us the yes kite or no ite. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We appreciate your comments each and every week. Your theories, your ideas, your opinions, your subscribes, your likes. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, give us that 5 stars we so greatly deserve. We all are in this together. Spread the word, spread the love, just don't spread Corona. And thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. Let's jump into Harley Quinn, the baddest bitch. So Harley Quinn, Chauncey was mentioning how she was overcompensating.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this whole, I mean, I was pretty much like King Shark and Clayface, sorry, it just went out, man. I was like them this whole episode in that regard, because I was just kind of like, what are you doing? I mean, of course, they don't know what's going on inside of her head, but I mean, let's be real. Human life was lost at the end of this episode. Not that it matters in this universe, but like so many people died on her watch. Again, mainly because she needed to overcompensate about a kiss. And I'm just like, wow.
And they died horrifically.
Yeah,
like being ripped apart.
Exactly.
I mean, part of that was Gordon's issue too. I mean, he had them go into something when he should have, because Batgirl was completely useless per usual in canon and all things, and trying to convince them. And
Stop hating on Batgirl.
Thank you,
Tatiana. Can we have a point of information of them saying how we need to talk about how bad the naming is in the community?
That was a great point. Tatiana, what were your thoughts?
I thought she was overcompensating more than just the kiss. I think it was like having to deal with her feelings, as well as at the same time that whole kiss thing happening. Then Gordon came and was like, oh, I don't really care about her. When her whole point, like her entire point in this, was to prove that she could do all this stuff without Joker. And she has. And so for her to accomplish all of this and to have somebody turn around and go, oh, I don't care, she's not really a threat to me. I think she was overcompensating for that as well.
That's how I feel as well. Ryan, you didn't have to become an AfterBuzz producer because of that thing, man. It wasn't that big a deal. You didn't have to overcompensate. Batgirl keeps being misunderstood, and Chauncey seemed to have some things to say about that.
I just felt like I got what her point was, but it was kind of like, I got it was a joke where it was like no one interpreted what she was saying, but it was kind of like, what did you expect either of these people to do? Of course, your father's not going to back down. Harley Quinn's not going to just lay low. That's not what I meant. She's just, I don't know. I just feel like she's been shoehorned in this season. I'd like to see more Catwoman.
I mean, okay, I'm with you on the Catwoman. Everybody wants
Catwoman's amazing.
She's like the cowbell. Everybody needs more cowbell. Everybody needs more Catwoman.
More cowbell.
Tatiana, are you also not a fan of Batgirl?
No, I am a fan of Batgirl. And like I said before, I feel like she wants to see the good in everybody and gives everybody a chance until, you know, she gets burned or they prove her wrong, and then she's back. Girl, but sometimes obnoxious. I do like her in this season.
What were your thoughts on Apocalypse and Granny Goodness, Tatiana? Was that a scene favorite, or did you think we could do without?
No, total scene favorite. I love that they put those in there. I think it added a lot, and it took Harley to the next level. And it almost like gave you a glimpse of the Harley you could see if she took it to what was that character? The storybook Fables. What was her name?
Queen Fable.
Queen of Fables.
Queen of Fables.
It almost
it almost took her to her level, like her potential as a villain. I feel like we saw it for a second, and then she's like, no, actually, this is not what I want. But that is what she could be capable of. And I liked that we saw that, and she chose not to be it.
Yeah. Although she chose it because of Ivy in a way too.
Yeah.
So I was like, could she have come to that without, once again, some romantic partner pushing her story forward? So I don't know. I go back and forth a little bit on that.
Speaking of romance, we also get the subplot of Ivy and Kite Man, and Kite Man wanting Ivy to like his parents and vice versa. Especially, it's very important for him for his parents to like Ivy. Tatiana, the marriage expert on this panel, what were your thoughts?
I think it's great Ivy stood up to his parents. Sometimes there's always going to be between the mother and the daughter, or the wife or the fiance or whoever enters into the story. There's always going to be this clash because
is that what happened?
Opinions. Okay. Yes, that is what happens. I'm telling you. So there's always going to be this clash, and you have to figure out the relationship. And so I thought it was really awesome that Ivy was like, no, you can't treat him that way, and this is the kind of person that he is, and stood up for him. I feel like that was like a profession of love almost, on her end, without saying I love you.
Yeah.
Chauncey is in agreement.
I don't know. I mean, in my first marriage, because I'm divorced at this moment, I thought I got along with my mom-in-law, but I also get along with my partner's mom now. So I don't know. I think it depends, but I do think you have to stand up for your partner. So I definitely agree with that. But I do want to see more of Kite Man's mom.
Yes,
absolutely. The parents were a highlight. Ryan's parents love me, so I completely understand.
I feel like we need a whole half an hour to this subplot.
Let's jump into our special segment. How Harley Quinn are you? So what scene made you think of you, Tatiana?
I have to say, I think what made me think of me is what Jim Gordon was like, this is how it's going down. I'm going to do it no matter what. And he's like, I make decisions and I stick with them. And that hasn't always served me in the past, but I'm going to do it. That's me.
That's you, me. Chauncey.
Yeah. I feel like same. I was actually going to say the same thing. Like, so I don't know when to quit.
No, you don't. Mine is actually going to be, since there was no Joker sighting, I really like Darkseid, of course, but mine is maybe Dr. Psycho, who actually put all this together and was just like, he did all of this. He beat Granny Goodness, basically, and then it just fell through. Like, if you're going to do it, then do it. That's how I feel. But it's probably going to be Darkseid. That's what reminds me of me. Let's talk some news and gossip really quick. Harley Quinn fans, last week we got a new Joker origin story, and we loved it. Comicbook.com did an amazing story on Joker's new origin story and how much we as fans love it. You're gonna want to check it out. It's definitely a must read, and it gives you a great backstory onto why they came up with it. And Schumacher reveals all. So make sure to check that out on comicbook.com. Tatiana Marisa, where can people find you if you want to be found?
At Tatiana Marisa on all social media platforms.
Chauncey K. Robinson.
Yeah, you can find my reviews, film and TV on RottenTomatoes.com.
And of course, find me at I Am Tehran all across the board, and hosting and paneling on a slew of other AfterBuzz after shows, because all of your favorite TV shows are my favorite TV shows too. If it's comics, you know it's me. I'll see you guys next week as we jump into more Harley Quinn. We only have a couple episodes remaining, so you're going to want to watch each and every week. Until then, bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.